What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Legendary Tony with the $10 donation via the Cash App. And he says, Happy G-Day, bro. Peace, one love. Salute to you, brother, for showing love to the channel. And still want to say thank all you guys for showing love with the birthday donations the other day, and some of you guys still showing love. I truly appreciate that, man. That's why I come out here every day and upload, much content for you guys as possible, as far as things going on in the sports world and things going on in real life that's pertinent to us. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's talk about this. I was going to do a little bit more in-depth video about Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers, and just to rehash just how important Game 5s are. In the last 31 instances where a team went into Game 5, where the series was tied 2-2, the winner of Game 5 went on to win 74% of the time. And regardless of who won Game 5, the team that had a 3-2 lead going into Game 6 of the NBA Finals in the last 49 instances won 40 of the 49 times, or 82%. So no matter how you flip it or look at it, having a 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals is very important. It's big. Now, it doesn't mean you're always going to win. Like I said last night, the Boston Celtics in 2010 had a 3-2 lead in that series, and they lost. And the New York Knicks had a 3-2 lead in the 1994 NBA Finals against the Rockets, and they lost. So it doesn't always mean that the series is over. But the Thunder are in a good position. They have shown that they can win on the road. And, of course, if they don't win Game 6, then they have Game 7, which will be at OKC. So the Thunder are in a good position, and all of the pressure right now is on the Pacers, whose leader, Tyrese Halliburton, is hobbled right now. So we'll have to see how Game 6 goes. I don't even know when Game 6 is. Is it Wednesday? Thursday? Probably Thursday, the way they're spreading out all these games. But anyway, Jalen Williams had 40 points last night, which was a playoff career high for him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who had 35 points in Game 4, but actually had no assists. The first time all season that he registered no assists. In this contest, he clocked 10 assists. He also had 2 steals. Now, I believe he was 13 or 14 at the line, so the so-called free throw merchant, as his detractors like to call him, got it done at the line. That's why they don't like him. See, it's not because he gets the line. It's because he's effective. See, Giannis often leads the league in free throw attempts, but his detractors don't give a shit because he's not a great free throw shooter. But Shai makes you pay. Shai is 90%. So, that's what people do with a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Us. They take what we do great and then try to make it something that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do with all of us. Whether it's Shai, whether it's Angel Reese, who's a great rebounder, they take something that she does and they flip it and make it like it's something bad. And then you got these bootlicks that run with it, running wild, eating bananas, pinning tails on their ass, swinging from vine all over social media, doing what they do. But it wasn't just these two guys, you know what I'm saying? Although they combined for 70 points for the 10th time since they've been teammates together. The most important time that they've combined for 70 or more points. But Cason Wallace who had been absolutely struggling from outside in this series. He caught fire last night. He went, I believe he hit what, 4 of 7 from downtown? No, 3 or 4 from downtown. Excuse me. Um, Aaron Wiggins connected on 4 of 7 from downtown. He scored 14 points. Kassan Wallace had 11 points. Chet Holmgren started off the game pretty strong, kind of faltered down the stretch. But I think he finished with like 11. I think he finished like with maybe 9 points and 11 rebounds or something like that. Isaiah Hartenstein had like 4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists or something like that. And look, for much of last night's game, the Thunder had a big lead, but the Pacers did what they do. And they came back late from an 18-point deficit and trimmed it all the way to 2. And you had this feeling like, oh my God, they're going to do this again. But this time, the Thunder, who did not have their deer in the headlights look, they didn't panic. They stayed with what was going well for them. They went through and withstood the dry stretch, the dry spell, I should say, and they pushed the lead back out. And that's what championship teams do. Championship teams don't falter. They rarely falter. And, you know, what we're seeing with this Thunder team is very rare. You almost never see a team this young be this dominant. Right now, if the Thunder do win a championship, they'll be the second youngest team in the history of the NBA to win a championship. The youngest being the 1977 Portland Trailblazers, led by Bill Walton and Maurice Lucas. I think they showed their ages last night. I think Bill Walton was like 20, 22? 22 or 23. Maurice Lucas was like 23, 24. So, you know, they were kids, man. But they got it done against the Doctor and them, you know what I'm saying, who were favored to win that series. But let me get to this point here. If they do win the championship, well, I'll just put it like this. This is a better way of phrasing it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on the verge of achieving something that Kevin Durant was not able to do. I know some people are like, well, why are you not including Russell Westbrook? I'm going to tell you why. Because when Russ was the leader of that team, they didn't realistically have a shot at winning a championship. You know, their goal was more or less to just make the playoffs. But before Kevin Durant left, Kevin Durant was the leader of that team. Kevin Durant went to an NBA Finals in 2012. Kevin Durant's team had a 3-1 lead against the mighty 73-win Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant, like Shai, won an MVP award back in 2014. Kevin Durant, like Shai, won a scoring title. Matter of fact, he won, I believe, 4 scoring titles, right? You can make an argument that if the Thunder had won the NBA Finals, yeah, I know it was pretty rigged, but if they had won the NBA Finals in 2012 against the Miami Heat, that might have been it for LeBron James. If he had failed again, if LeBron had failed again after losing in 07, people give him a pass for 07 because he was young. I don't. I'm going to tell you why, because those games were winnable. It wasn't like they were getting blown the hell out. Those were winnable games. And LeBron James is the main reason why they lost that series. If he had played just to his regular capabilities, they could have made that series very competitive. They could have beaten the Spurs. Because Tim Duncan had his worst finals against that Cleveland Cavaliers defense, in particular, their post defense, their interior defense. So everybody did their job except for the so-called king from Akron. But getting back to my original point, if LeBron had lost in '07, ran out of Cleveland, formed a super team, lost in 2011 as he really did in actuality, and then lost again, leaders said, fuck this dude. This guy's a choker. But KD blew it because he's a choker too at times. Then he became a deck stacker just like LeBron James, and he's failed twice. He had to be on a super cheat code, resistant or a cheat code free Warriors team to win titles. Shai's not on a super team. So to me, if Shai wins a championship with the Oklahoma City Thunder, he will be the third player in the last 4 years to win a championship on a small market team. The other ones being Giannis and Nikola Jokic. So you can make an argument. I mean, you can still give it to Russ because of longevity, but if Shai wins a championship with the Thunder, then you could argue he becomes the greatest Thunder. Now, I tend to give it more toward a guy who has longevity, but it is kind of hard to argue against a guy that wins an MVP award and championship in the same years. It's just kind of hard to argue against that. But let me say this too before I end this video. This would not be the franchise's first championship. I keep hearing people saying that. This is not their first championship. People forget that this is still considered the Sonics franchise. The Sonics have a championship. They won it in 1979. So this would be their first championship since relocating to Oklahoma. Absolutely. But it's not the franchise's first championship. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Salute to Shai. Salute to all these guys, man. I think they're going to do it. We got to wait and see, but I think they're going to do it. Tell me what you guys think.